The wicked flee when no one pursues them, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. When a land does wrong, it has many princes, but when the ruler is a man of understanding and knowledge, its stability endures. A poor man who oppresses and exploits the lowly is like a sweeping rain which leaves no food. Those who set aside the law of God and man praise the wicked, but those who keep the law of God and man struggle with them. Evil men do not understand justice, but they who long for and seek the Lord understand it fully. Better is the poor who walks in his integrity than he who is crooked and two-faced, though he is rich. He who keeps the law of God and man is a wise and discerning son, but he who is a companion of gluttons humiliates his father and himself. He who increases his wealth by interest and usury, excessive interest, gathers it from him who is gracious to the poor. He who turns his ear away from listening to the law of God and man, even his prayer is repulsive to God. He who leads the upright astray on an evil path will himself fall into his own pit, but the blameless will inherit good. The rich man who is conceited and relies on his wealth instead of God is wise in his own eyes, but the poor man who is understanding because he relies on God is able to see through him. When the righteous triumph, there is great glory and celebration, but when the wicked rise to prominence, men hide themselves. He who conceals his transgressions will not prosper, but whoever confesses and turns away from his sins will find compassion and mercy. Blessed and favored by God is the man who fears sin and its consequences at all times. But he who hardens his heart and is determined to sin will fall into disaster. Like a roaring lion and a charging bear is a wicked ruler over a poor people. A leader who is a great oppressor lacks understanding and common sense, and his wickedness shortens his days. But he who hates unjust gain will be blessed and prolong his days. A man who is burdened with the guilt of human blood, murder, will be a fugitive until death. Let no one support him or give him refuge. He who walks blamelessly and uprightly will be kept safe, but he who is crooked, perverse, will suddenly fall. He who cultivates his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows worthless people and frivolous pursuits will have plenty of poverty. A faithful, right-minded man will abound with blessings, but he who hurries to be rich will not go unpunished. To have regard for one person over another and to show favoritism is not good, because for a piece of bread a man will transgress. He who has an evil and envious eye hurries to be rich and does not know that poverty will come upon him. He who appropriately reprimands a wise man will afterward find more favor than he who flatters with the tongue. He who robs his father or his mother and says, "This is no sin," is not only a thief, but also the companion of a man who destroys. An arrogant and greedy man stirs up strife, but he who trusts in the Lord will be blessed and prosper. He who trusts confidently in his own heart is a dull, thick-headed fool, but he who walks in skillful and godly wisdom will be rescued. He who gives to the poor will never want, but he who shuts his eye from their need will have many curses. When the wicked rise to power, men hide themselves, but when the wicked perish, the consistently righteous increase and become great.